So students, we'll have the next problem, that is, many of you had doubt on identifying the prime implicants and the essential prime implicant. So that is the reason I thought of taking a problem where we need to, what is the question? Identify the prime and essential prime implicant. Identify the prime and essential prime implicant. So now these types of questions you can expect in your exam, wherein they give you to list out the prime and essential prime implicant. So what are essential prime implicant? At least one mean term should be unique, and these are the prime implicants what we will include in the final switching equation, that is the simplified equation. Correct? So whatever the product term we will have, those will be EPI, essential prime implicant, and all the possible larger groupings will be the prime implicants. Let us solve this problem. You will come to know what exactly is prime implicant and essential prime implicant. So to explain this, I have taken a problem. This is also an examination problem. See, the problems whatever I am solving, plus the homework problems whatever I am giving, all the problems are taken from your previous year question papers. So please don't neglect, please do practice all the problems. Okay. So now here the equation is S is equal to f of a, b, c, d is equal to summation 1, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 15. So what I have to do, I have to list out or identify the prime and essential prime implicant. So now in the given question I have essential prime implicant. First let me identify the essential prime implicant. To identify the essential prime implicant, I have to simplify this. The terms that are there in the simplified equation are nothing but EPI, because they are the ones which will give us the simplified equation, because we group the cells in the K-map so that at least one mean term is unique. Correct? That is what the rule of K-map. So since we are going to group the cells according to the rules of K-map, in the final equation whatever the product term we get, those terms are nothing but the essential prime implicants. So first let us do that. So the question is 1, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 15. So fill that. I have written the K-map already. So let me fill the mean terms in the K-map. 1, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 15. So these are the mean terms that are given in the question. Now forget about identifying prime and essential prime implicant. First to simplify the equation. According to the rules of K-map. So when you look at the K-map, how do you group mean term 1? The only possibility to group mean term 1 is I have to go for which grouping? I have to group 1, 5, 13 and 9. I have to group 1, 5, 13 and 9. Only then this particular mean term will be covered. Yes or no? This particular mean term 1, in order to cover this, in order to group this, I have to go for these adjacent cells 1, 5, 13, 19. So if I group 1, 5, 13, 9. 1, 5, 13, 9. What is the equation I get? C bar D I get C bar D. Now, how do we cover the mean term 8? How to cover the mean term 8? The only option I have is I have to group 8, 9, 10, 11. So, group 8, 9, 10, 11. So, if I group 8, 9, 10, 11, what is the equation I get? A bar, B I get. Sorry, A, B bar. I'm sorry. A, B bar I am going to get. Correct? So, in order to cover this, I have gone for 8, 9, 10, 11. In order to cover this particular mean term, I have used 1, 5, 13, 19. So, it's C bar D. So, now any other mean terms are left out? Yes, 7 and 15 I have not grouped still. Correct. How do we group 7 and 15? 7, 5 and 13, 15. 7, 5 and 13, 15. Correct. So, group 7, 5 and 13, 15. 7, 5, 13, 15. So when I group 7, 5, 13, 15, what is the equation I get? B, then D, BD. Okay? Is it clear? So what is the simplified equation for this? S is equal to the simplified simplified equation is AB bar plus BD plus C bar D. AB bar plus BD plus C bar D. Yes or no? So now, what is the meaning of EPI? At least one mean term should be unique. In this particular group, 8 is unique. In this particular group, 1 is unique. In this particular group, 7, 15, both are unique. So all these three are EPI. See, when you group the K-map, when you do the solve the switching equations using Karnaugh map, you have to be very careful. It is not that you look for the unique mean term. It is also that you should make the largest grouping, the possible largest grouping. You have to go for it, right? So you have to be you have to understand the Karnaugh map rules when you group it. Fine. So in order to cover this is the largest possible grouping that I have gone. In order to cover this, the largest possible grouping, I have done. I should not go for 7 and 15. No, the largest possible. You have to make use of all the adjacent cells and group, frame the largest grouping. Right? So when we did that, we got the equation as S is equal to A B bar plus BD plus C bar D. Now what are EPI? EPI are, list out essential prime implicant. A B bar, BD, C bar D. A B bar we got when we group 8, 9, 10, 11. You have to write that also. When we group 8, 9, 10, 11, we got A B bar essential prime implicant. Then BD is when we group 7, 5, 13, 15. And C bar D is when we group 1, 5, 13 and 9. Correct? So in the final equation, in the simplified equation, whatever the prime implicants you have, they are nothing but the essential prime implicants. Now, what are prime implicants? Prime implicants, we need not have, there should not be any unique mean term present in that particular group, but it has to be the largest grouping. For example, see, this is the grouping we have done over, this is the grouping we have done, fine. See here 7, 15, 5, 13 we have covered. One more possible grouping is, see, just look here, 13, 15, 9, 11. Can I group 13, 15, 9, 11? Can I group 13, 15, 9, 11? One more possible grouping, 13, 15, 9, 11. Correct? 13, 15, 9, 11 is one possible grouping that I can go for it. But is there any unique mean term present in this particular group? 15 is already covered with this. 13 is also already covered here. 9 is covered with this group. 11 is covered with this group. So all 13, 15, 9, 11 are already grouped. There is no unique mean term present in this particular group, right? So this will become a prime implicant, but this will not become an essential prime implicant. Are you getting? So prime implicants are, what are those? What is the equation we get? When we group 13, 15, 9, 11. So what is the equation we get? We get A, then D. We get AD. So this is a prime implicant, but this is not an essential prime implicant. Okay. So this is how we list out the prime implicants and the essential prime implicants. So this is one example. Let me see, I have another example. Okay. For all the problems, whatever you have done, you can start identifying the prime implicant. EPI, very simple. In the equation, whatever you have got, that itself is nothing but the EPI. PI is any other possibility of grouping the cells. So this is one possibility where we don't have even a single unique mean term. So this will become an PI, but this will not become an essential prime implicant. Okay. So this is the concept of prime implicant and essential prime implicant. So let me take up another concept here. Now the next problem we have is, just look at the problem. This is also an examination problem. The question is, the equation is given, okay, y bar is equal to a bar b c bar d bar plus a bar b c bar d plus a b c bar d bar plus A B C bar D plus A B bar C bar D plus A bar B bar C D bar. The equation is given to you and they have denoted the output variable as y bar. Don't get confused. It is just the normal method. It is just an output variable. Since it is given y bar, you are not supposed to take complement of it. Nothing. They have just tried to represent the output variable as y bar. That's all. Okay. Instead of giving it as y, they have just denoted it as y bar. That's all. It is an equation that what they have given, and they have told us to minimize the expression. Okay. And this is also an examination problem wherein they have told you to minimize this expression by applying Boolean algebraic properties and also using K-map. The reason why I have taken this problem is you will come to know the use of K-map, the advantage of K-map, how the K-map is going to give us the simplified equation. See, let me solve this problem using K-map first. So, if I have to solve the K-map, I need to list out the mean terms, right? So to list out the mean terms, I have to write the binary equivalent value for this, then the decimal equivalent value. Those mean terms I am supposed to write in the K-map. So let me do that first. 0, 1, 0, 0. What is that? 4. Right? Then 0, 1, 0, 1. That is 5. Next 1, 1, 0, 0. What is that? 12. Next 1, 1, 0, 1. 13. Right? Next 1, 0, 0, 1, 9. Next 0, 0, 1, 0. This is 2. So what are the mean terms we have? We have 4, 5, 12. Let me write it in increasing order. So it is 4, 5. 2, 4, 5. So 2, 4, 5, 9, 12, 13. 2, 4, 5, 9, 12, 13. Right? So these are the mean terms we have. So now what is our next step? How many variables we have? 4 variables A, B, C, D. So now I have to use a 4 variable K-map. Can you see the K-map what I have written here? Yes. So I have to go for a 4 variable K-map. So when I use 4 variable K-map, okay. So here it is A, B, C, D, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. So name the cells 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Right. So what are the mean terms? 2, 4, 5. 2, 4, 5. 2, 4, 5, 9, 12, 13. 9, 9, 12, 13. So tell me, how do we group it? 2, 4, 5, 9, 12, 13. Yes. How do we group the cells? These 4 are adjacent. So I'll go for this grouping first. So 4, 5, 12, 13 are adjacent. 4, 5, 12, 13 are adjacent. So what is the equation I get? B, then C bar. B, C bar I am going to get. Now how do we cover the mean term 9? 9 with 13. The only option I have is 9 with 13. So I will go for 9 with 13. So if I group 9 and 13, what is the equation I get? I get A, then B, C bar, D, A, C bar, D I am going to get. Then how do I cover the mean term 2? Any adjacent cell for mean term 2? No, there are no adjacent cells for the mean term 2. So mean term 2 is alone. So this is a grouping where we have only mean term 2 and the equation is A bar, B bar, C, D bar. Now what is the equation we have? The simplified equation Y bar is equal to A, C bar, D plus A bar, B bar, C, D bar plus B, C bar. Can you see the equation what I have written? A, C bar, D, correct? A, C bar, D plus A bar, B bar, C bar, A bar, B bar, C, D bar plus B, C bar. So this is the equation we have got. See, what is the time we have taken to simplify the equation? Maximum 2-3 minutes, right? And we could get the simplified equation correctly. We know that when the groupings are right, we have not done any mistake. We know that this is a simplified equation. Now let us try to solve the same using Boolean algebraic properties. So when you do it, you should be very familiar with the Boolean algebraic rules. All the properties should be familiar, only then you can solve. So now, how do we solve this? So y bar is equal to, so we have to look for the common variables. So in these two, a bar, b, c bar is common. In these two, a bar, b, c bar is common. A bar, b, c bar is common. So if you take a bar, b, c bar common, in the equation we have d bar plus d. Okay? Plus. Then in these two, a, b, c bar is common. So a, b, c bar is common. So d bar plus d. And in the next two term, a, b bar, c bar d plus a bar, b bar, c d bar. Okay, no variable is common there, right? B bar is common. Okay, let me keep this as it is. A, b bar, c bar d plus a bar, b bar, c d bar. Even if I take b bar outside, the equation will not be simplified further. So now let me keep these two as it is. Even if you take b bar common, whatever the terms will have inside the bracket will not be simplified further. So let us keep those two terms as it is. So now what is d plus d bar? A plus a bar is 1. The properties, Boolean algebraic properties, a plus a bar is 1. So this is 1. Plus a b bar, otherwise I will write it directly. So since b plus d bar is 1, since this is equal to 1 and this is also equal to 1, so it is a b c bar plus a b bar c bar d plus a bar b bar c d bar. Okay, now next. Next, what is in these two, c bar is common, c bar b is common. So take c bar b outside. So it is a bar plus a b bar c bar d plus a bar b bar c d bar. So what is a plus a bar? A plus a bar is again 1. So this will be b c bar plus a b bar c bar d plus a bar b bar c d bar. Then in these two, c bar is common. So if I take c bar outside, so it is b plus a b bar d plus a bar b bar c d bar, right? How do we simplify it further? So now just look at this equation, b plus a b bar d. So b plus a b bar d can be written as b plus b bar into ad. I have taken b bar first, then ad. So what is a plus a bar b? A plus a bar b is a plus b. A plus a bar b is a plus b. How is that? This can be written as a plus a bar into a plus b. What is a plus a bar? 1. So a plus b. So a plus a bar b is a plus b. A plus a bar b is a plus b. That is b plus ad. So this is like a plus a bar b. A plus a bar b is a plus b. B is what? Ad. So it is b plus ad. Okay, let me explain it again because the video was not clear. Let me explain it. A bar, b, c bar, if I take it outside, it is b bar plus d. So this will be equal to 1. Here in these two terms, you take a, b, c bar common. Then these two and these two, I keep it as it is because b bar is common in these two. Even if you take b bar common, this will not be simplified further. So I have kept these two as it is. This will be equal to 1, this will be equal to 1. And here b c bar is common. So I have taken b c bar common. So this will be a bar plus a. So this will be equal to 1. A b bar c bar d plus a bar b bar c d bar, right? So now the same thing I have written here. In these two, c bar is common. So I have taken c bar common. So it will be b plus a b bar d plus a bar b bar c d bar. Now this can be written as A plus A bar B, that is I have B plus A B bar D, right? So what I do is I write B bar first then AD. So this will be A plus A bar B. A plus A bar B is A plus B. So this is just like A, B. How is that? See, this can be written as B plus B bar into B plus AD. See, this can be written as B plus B bar into B plus AD. What is B plus B bar? 1. So this will be equal to what? B plus AD. So this can be written as C bar, okay, into A plus A bar B. That is, let me write it in another step. So this is how we write A bar, B bar, C, D bar. Can you see this? So this will be equal to what? C bar into A plus A bar B is A plus B, that is B plus AD. So C bar into B plus AD plus A bar B bar C D bar. So what is the final equation? Final equation is, you can just, this can be taken as final equation, or if you want to match this with the K-map, you can just multiply what? C bar with this. So what do we get? B C bar plus A C bar D plus A bar B bar C D bar. See, in both we have got the same equation, but when you use Boolean algebraic properties, we should be knowing each and every property of Boolean algebra. Otherwise, it is very difficult to get the simplified equation. You may stop at this point. You may feel that this is the simplified equation, but this is not the simplified equation. We can still simplify it further. So we have to be very careful, or we may not get the simplified equation when we apply the properties of Boolean algebra. So K-map is the simplest, fastest method of getting the simplified equation. So we have to learn K-map, we have to start using K-map, only then we can reduce the complexity of the IC, that in turn reduces the cost of the IC. Okay, so this is an example which clearly shows that K-map is the simplest method compared to the Boolean algebraic properties. Okay, so let us take up the next problem. So the next problem, this is an June-July 2014 question paper problem. See, like this problem you can expect in your exam. The problem may be different, the logic may be different, but you should end up with a circuit. Okay, you need to understand the problem statement, the logic of it, write the truth table, simplify it using K-map, write the logic diagram. So we had designed the sequence to design a digital circuit, right, in the very first class. So this is a problem wherein we will end up with the circuit, the simplest possible, simplest circuit. Okay. So all of you read the question once. The question is A8, A4, A2, A1. A8, A4, A2, A1 is an 8421 BCD input. Is an 8421 BCD input to a logic circuit. So these are the inputs to a logic circuit whose output is a 1. Whose output is a 1 when the conditions they are given. When the output is a 1, when A8 is 0, A4 is 0, A2 is 1. That is first condition. When this is 0, this is 0, this is 1, the output is 1. The other condition is, or the other possibility for the output variable to become 1 is when A8 is 0, A4 is 0, A4 is 1. So these are the two possible combinations of possible ways when the output variable can take 1. Design the simplest possible logic circuit. Simplest, so you have to simplify the equation and design the circuit. For that simplification, the method we use is K-map, Karnaugh map, right? So now first you have to understand the problem. Yes, we have understood the problem. Then the next step is decide how many inputs are there for the circuit and how many outputs. It is clear that 4 inputs and output, only one output. So 4 inputs, A8, A4, A2, A1. So these are input. And how many output? Output is only 1, let us take it as Y. Output is only 1, let us take it as Y. It's a, they are telling A8, A4, A2, A1 is a 8421 BCD input. The BCD inputs, whatever we have been writing till here, it's an 8421 code, right? You know that. So this is a 8421 BCD input. So now let us write all the combinations. Okay. So and BCD inputs means what? We'll have the inputs only from 0 to 9. BCD, binary coded decimal numbers, is only from 0 to 9. Are you getting? That is what the meaning of BCD. So now 8421 code, it is normal way 00000001. Write all the possible combinations for inputs. 00000001, 0010, 0011. Okay, you can write in your notes along with me. 0011, then 0100, 0101, 0110, 0111. Next 1000, 1001, 1010, 1011, 1100, 1101, 1110, 1111. Hope you can see these. Okay, so you can see the last combination also. So now we have decided the number of inputs and number of outputs for the circuit, and we have written all the possible combinations for the circuit, for input combinations for the circuit. Now when the output will be equal to 1, look at the condition what they are given. Output is a 1 when A8 is 0, A4 is 0 and A2 is 1. Look for these combinations. Where all we have A8 0, A4 0, A2 1. This is a combination. We have A8 0, A4 0, A2 1. Right? A8 0, A4 0, A2 1. Any other combination? No. The first case is output will be 1 when A8 is 0, A4 is 0, A2 is 1. So only for these two combinations will satisfy the first condition for the output variable to make the output variable equal to 1. Next, OR. What is the second possibility for the output variable to take 1? When A8 is 0 and A4 is 1. When A8 is 0 and A4 is 1. A8 is 0, 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 A4 is 1. So for these two combinations, again the output will be equal to 1. Okay. Any other possibility? Any other possibility here? No, right? So for these inputs, the output will be equal to 1. For other inputs, what is your output? Output will be equal to 0. Output will be equal to 0. Okay. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So what are the mean terms we get now? The mean terms are what? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The mean terms are y is equal to summation 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hope you can solve this and you will get the final answer. So if you use K-Math, let me complete the problem. If you use K-Math, so this is A8, A4 and this is A2, A1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. This is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So what is that? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So how do you group the cells? 4, 5, 6, 7. All these are adjacent? Correct. So what is the equation we get? A8 bar, A4. Similarly, 2, 3, 6, 7 are adjacent. So what is the equation we get? A8 bar. Then here it is A2. A8 bar, A2. Correct? Right. So what is the equation? Y is equal to A8 bar A2 plus A8 bar A4. Now how do you write the logic circuit? Logic circuit can be written like this. Inputs are what? A8 bar. So A8 bar, you have to go for a NOT gate. Then A2. So for the first term, A8 bar, A2. What is the gate you will use? AND gate. Because A8 bar and A2 it is. Then A8 bar, A4. Another AND gate. A8 bar into A4. Another AND gate. Between these two terms, plus. That means you have to go for an OR gate. You have to go for an OR gate. Okay. So this is the diagram. This is the circuit you have. Right. So what is the final equation that we could get from the OR gate output terminal? The equation is A8 bar A2 plus A8 bar A4. So this is the simplest possible circuit that we can get.